wasn't quite sure what I was going to share today um, until just maybe a minute or so before I press play here. Um, eh, because I've actually had a really good day with um, like a lot of really beautiful and powerful experiences, particularly with people. Um, but there's one in particular that stood out. Well, I mean, two, but they were both within, you know, 20 or 30 minutes of one another. And what was really beautiful about them is just that they took place with total strangers. Um, I currently, for my work, um, I do rideshare, so I drive primarily for Uber. And, this has been really slow right now after the storm. Um, it can be a little bit challenging to get rides and work right now. But I decided to give it a shot today and see if there was really, if I could have much success. And didn't really, um, getting a few rides here and there, but the volume's so low right now. But the rides that I did get were really, really special. Because first I went out um, to Hendersonville. That's another area. It's in the Asheville area. Um, to deal with some paperwork with FEMA because there was an issue with my approval of receiving any compensation here to help out this time for like relief efforts or anything like that. So I went to the offices um, to go connect with them and see if there was anything they could help out with to try out for reapproval on that process or to expedite it or something like that. And I went there, and the place was just a madhouse. There's so many people there, um, but as you would expect. But so I didn't wait in line for very long. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna come back the next morning. Um, but I'm really really glad that I went into that line to wait because there was an older woman who was there who you can feel when somebody needs connection. You can feel when somebody needs somebody to talk to. And especially if it's probably likely that they haven't had anybody to talk to during a time like this, like really talk to and be really fully like heard and engaged with. And I talked to this woman in line, and she just started to open up just immediately about, sharing about how her home is destroyed right now and just all of the things that are, going on, all the possessions that have been lost and their, their house that's been destroyed by, this is just by tree damage. There wasn't even hard, in their particular neighborhood, it wasn't even water damage, but it's just massive trees just took out their entire house. And I just dropped in with her there for a little while and just connected. And you could see how much it meant to her. You could see it written on her face. Just how much it meant to have someone ask questions and listen and be in the space with her and hold her in love and prayer in my heart. And at the end, I just told her that I was going to be praying for her during the day, and that I asked if I can give her a hug if she would like that, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, please." I didn't know that I needed this, but she was so grateful and thankful to be just heard. And then shortly after that, after I left, I decided to try to pick up another couple of rides, and I ended up getting one. And this lady was having a very, very hard time. And, you know, and it probably wasn't just related to the hurricane. There was definitely part of it. But I think that there was probably some substance use in her history. Um, I used to work a little bit with people who had dealt with substances and stuff like that. And I have some friends who've gone through that struggle. And, I see people in this town all the time. Asheville, even though it's a beautiful place and I do love it dearly, it is a really, really bad problem with certain substances, particularly like, heroin and meth is a very big one. So you can see it. You can usually see it pretty quickly. But this woman, she was so distraught when she first got in the vehicle. Like as soon as she got in, she was just like, you know, just seconds away from cussing me out because apparently there was an issue in terms of like time expectation about how long it was going to take for me to get to her, you know. And she had been waiting around for a long time and had a lot to do, and she just had a lot of anxiety, a lot of anxiety. Now, to her credit, though, as soon as she got in my vehicle, she was just like, "All right, you know what, sir? I don't want to take this out on you. I'm just really, basically, like, I'm really, really pissed off right now, and I, I think it's going to be best if you just don't talk to me, and I just don't talk to you. I'm, I'm not good right now, and I need to just be alone." And I was just like, I totally respect that, man. And I just put on some nice music for her and just, relaxing music. And it was about a 10-minute ride. And about 3 or 4 minutes into the ride, I could hear her like hyperventilating in the back seat. She was trying to calm herself down, and she just could not. Like she was so distraught. And I just looked back at her and I just said, "Ma'am, I know her name, but I'm gonna withhold that right now." I just said, "Miss, you know," and I said her name. It's like, if you want to talk to me, it's okay. You can open up to me and share. You're not gonna offend me. I'm not gonna be hurt by what you say. I can guarantee you that. I promise. And man, just like opened up the floodgates from her. She just started dishing out on everything that had been going wrong, from the hurricane, from personal issues, all these different things. And something, and I actually just shared this with my roommate too. That something I was so impressed with this woman though is that even as distraught as she was, and as obviously rough a shape as she was in, um, she still had a great amount of self awareness, and she was just like, I know that this is just me. I know this is my ego. I know that I have a huge ego, and I need to work on this. But like, I need to not let this stuff get to me the way that it is. But I just can't. And she was just like, I need to just like. I'm praying to God. I know that this is in God's plan. I know that this is just a test, but I just don't know. I don't know what to do. She was like, Satan got a hold of me. I don't, she's very, very, very Christian identified, and I got no problem with that at all. I think it's actually really beautiful. But she was just like, this is, I don't know what to do. I just feel so lost. I feel so broken. And she was just completely manic. But I just, reached back and like held her hand and just calmed her down while I was driving, and just, breathed with her and listened to her. I just listened, really listened. Offered one or two very minor things, but only after she really, really had the space to fully open up and be heard. And once we pulled up to her spot where I was going to be letting her out, I just said, and I said her name, said, "Do you mind if I pray over you?" And she was just immediate, just like new wave of tears. She's just like, "Oh my God, I would love that so much." And I just prayed over her for, a good 2 or 3 minutes, just speaking words of affirmation, of understanding, of love and compassion into her, and letting her know how much she's treasured, and letting her know, and using her vernacular and using her words, and just saying to her, like, God has a plan for you, his daughter, and God, please see your daughter here right now and take away her pain, or help her come to peace through her pain. See how much she cares, see how much she loves, see how much she is struggling, but see how much goodness is in her. And just talked with her and prayed over her like that for a little while. And at the end of that, there was just so much visible relief in her face, in her being. Everything was just so much more relaxed, and she was just like, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. I didn't even know that that's what I needed. I've never had an Uber driver pray over me before." and yeah, then just told her that I was going to keep praying for her here today, and that I was going to be thinking about her. And then we went on our separate ways. But I only share that just to say, you really don't know how much your words can completely change somebody else's life. Because if you're changing somebody's moment, you're changing their day. And if you have enough days changed for someone, that is a changed life. I say this humbly, but I know that woman's course has been in some way altered for the better by me being in her life, even just for a moment. And I think that that's something that we should all strive for and live for and seek to attain, is with every single interaction, ask the question, am I living in such a way that I'm changing this person's life for the better or for the worse? Because in every moment, we're always changing somebody's life. Every time that we interact with somebody, we're changing somebody's life. And I've never thought about that until this moment. Every time you interact with another human being, you are changing their life. Do you want to change their life in as best of a way as you possibly can? Do you want to change it for the better, or do you want to change it for the worse? Because either way, you're changing it. Yeah. So just my thoughts today, and I thought that would be a story that somebody could benefit from. So thanks for hearing me. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Wherever you are, I'm sending you a lot of love. And I'm already looking forward to talking with you again soon.